Italy, a country famous for its iconic cities like Rome, Venice, and Florence. But what if I told you that the true magic of Italy isn't just in the places everybody knows? Some of the most breathtaking, history-filled, and downright delicious experiences lie in cities you've never heard of. And today, we're diving deep into Italy's best-kept secrets, cities that will make you question why they aren't on everyone's bucket list. By the end of this video, you might be ready to skip the Colosseum and instead find yourself sipping espresso in a piazza where time seems to have stopped without the crowds. Trust me, you're going to want to stick around because at the end, I'll reveal a city that even many Italians consider their own hidden paradise. And it's not what you'd expect. Ready to discover the most underrated cities in Italy? Let's get started. First stop, Modena. If you think you know Italian cuisine, think again. Modena is a city that has perfected the art of flavor, but it remains surprisingly under the radar for most travelers. As you stroll through the charming streets of Modena, you'll immediately be hit with the rich aromas of balsamic vinegar. Real balsamic vinegar. This isn't the stuff you grab from your local grocery store back home. Modena's balsamic is aged for up to 25 years in wooden barrels, and the locals guard this craft with a passion that's been passed down for generations. But it's not just the vinegar. This city is also home to some of the world's finest restaurants, including the legendary Osteria Francescana, consistently ranked one of the best in the world. Imagine sitting down for a meal here, tasting dishes that look like works of art, and unfold flavors you didn't even know existed. All of this in a city that doesn't have the chaotic crowds of Florence or Milan. And wait until you hear about what's hiding inside Modena's cathedral. Stick around. We're building up to a jaw-dropping reveal. Next, we're headed south to a city so ancient it feels like stepping back in time. Matera. Built into the cliffs, Matera is often called the City of Caves because of its iconic stone dwellings, known as sassi, carved directly into the rocks. You'll wander through narrow, winding streets that seem to whisper tales from thousands of years ago. The haunting beauty of Matera is almost unreal, like something out of a fantasy film. In fact, filmmakers couldn't resist its allure. Matera was the filming location for the latest James Bond movie, No Time to Die. Despite its Hollywood spotlight, Matera remains largely overlooked by the tourist masses. Picture this. You're sitting on a terrace at dusk, the golden light reflecting off the stone buildings, with the ancient landscape stretching out before you. The quiet is only broken by the occasional church bell. It's a feeling you won't get in Rome or Venice. And if you think the caves are all this city has to offer, think again. There's a hidden secret in Matera that dates back to medieval times. More on that later. Let's head up to northern Italy now, to a city that doesn't just have two sides. It is two cities in one. Bergamo, divided into the Città Alta, upper city, and Città Bassa, lower city, offers two completely different vibes in one incredible place. In the upper city, you'll feel like you've stepped into a medieval fairy tale. Cobblestone streets, towering Venetian walls, and centuries-old buildings surround you, transporting you back to a time when knights and merchants walked the same paths. The views from up here are breathtaking. Stand at one of the lookouts, and you'll see rolling hills on one side and the bustling modern lower city on the other. But here's where things get interesting. While most tourists stop at the upper city for its charm, there's a story in the lower city that makes Bergamo even more intriguing. Bergamo was one of the hardest hit cities during the early days of the pandemic, but instead of succumbing to tragedy, the city rebounded stronger than ever. You can feel this resilient spirit in the streets. Every restaurant, every shop, every smile. And while the city has healed, there's an ancient monument in the upper city that has a connection to something far more mysterious. Stay with me, we're getting there. Now, let's journey to Ravenna, a city that was once the capital of the Western Roman Empire. Surprised? You wouldn't be alone. Ravenna doesn't shout from the rooftops about its rich history, but it should. Step inside one of Ravenna's churches, and you'll be surrounded by some of the most stunning mosaics in the world. Intricate pieces that shimmer with gold, telling stories of empires long gone. The mosaics here are so well preserved that UNESCO has designated them a World Heritage Site. It's as if time itself has decided to freeze in Ravenna, keeping its wonders a secret from the casual traveler. The quiet, tree-lined streets of Ravenna give no hint of the treasures they hold. You could easily spend hours walking through this city, marveling at the artistry that has been here for over 1,000 years. And if you think the mosaics are Ravenna's only marvel, you're in for a surprise. We're close to unveiling that one hidden Italian city no one talks about. And now, we arrive at the finale. Trieste, a city that borders Slovenia and has been a melting pot of cultures for centuries. Most people overlook Trieste when planning their Italian adventure, but that's what makes it so special. Imagine a city where Italian, Austro-Hungarian, and Slavic influences blend together. The result is a stunning waterfront lined with grand buildings, cozy coffee houses that make Trieste's cafe culture famous, and an intoxicatingly laid-back vibe that's perfect for those who crave something different from the classic Italian experience. Walk along the Piazza Unità d'Italia, the largest square overlooking the sea in Europe, and let the gentle breeze from the Adriatic cool your skin. It's a city that feels both Italian and yet unlike anywhere else in Italy. And here's the twist. Trieste has a past linked to espionage, secret societies, and hidden passageways. But that's a story for another day. So, there you have it, 5 of Italy's most underrated cities, each with its own story, flavors, and unforgettable experiences. Now the question is, which one will you explore first? And remember, that hidden gem I mentioned at the start? Let's just say the locals in Trieste may have been hiding a little more than just their stunning waterfront. Curious? Guess you'll have to visit to find out. Thanks for watching, and if you want more offbeat travel gems, hit that subscribe button for more adventures.